What's up guys, Asian here again with another video. This is kind of an addendum to the video that I just released, which was kind of looking at updates to, or at least updates to the known Summerset Isles information. And this is kind of a generic reminder to people that everything that we see from ZOS, from other players, is all pre-PTS, and even after the PTS is launched, and everybody's playing around the PTS, you're hearing things on Discords, things like that. Just remember that everything is subject to change, and so anybody who's saying that they know for sure that you need to be running this set or that set, or people who are saying, oh, I think this set's going to be fantastic in this new patch, please treat that with a enormous grain of salt. So for example, this video here, anticipating your config for Summerset, I'm a little bit wary, and I would highly recommend people to steer away from videos like this because we don't even know, the PTS isn't even out yet. All this information that we're receiving right now is all pre-PTS stuff. ZOS still has a bunch of changes to make. It's only the beginning of April, and Summerset's being released in May. So we're still like 6-7 weeks out. So anybody who says, this is what we can expect, this is what we should do, this is the sets you should buy, that's all very still up in the air. So be very, very cautious when you see people, anybody really, content creators, people on Reddit, saying this is what you should be doing to prepare yourself for Summerset, because we don't know. We have no idea what to do to prepare for Summerset. We just know what's been released by players. This is all pre-PTS, so everything is subject to change. Like I mentioned in that video, looking over Ixter's posts, everything is subject to change. Do not freak out about any of the changes yet, because chances are at least half of them will undergo some sort of alteration during the PTS cycle itself. I've seen topics on Reddit like this. Why they're nerfing stam decays again. I mean, it is legitimate that they are nerfing some things, like Blade Cloak was nerfed. However, I wouldn't say they're necessarily bad nerfs. They were nerfs that need to happen. Night Blades got nerfed as well. These are nerfs that had to happen in order to kind of bring the classes back into balance again. And this person seems to be crying about these nerfs and how they pretty much completely knocked stam decays down, but from all the testing that they did at the studio, stam decays were still pulling really good DPS. They were third, I believe, in single target DPS out of all the melee specs that they were choosing. So that's still very, very respectable. And I highly doubt that their plan is to nerf certain roll certain specs into the ground. I don't think that is ZOS's intention on doing that. This kind of post is all kind of QQing about nerfs. That's something, again, that you shouldn't be doing. You're kind of overreacting to something that hasn't even been released on the PTS yet for testing. Over here, someone was talking about the change to Sunderflame and Night Mother's Gaze. Those aren't set in stone yet. In fact, the players who were at ZOS last week gave a ton of feedback saying that this isn't necessary. This is a bad change. So, don't worry that Sunder and Night Mother's Gaze these changes are going to stick. Chances are they won't. So please, 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 everybody, don't freak out about any changes that you see. Don't really read into any sort of content that people are making or people are posting saying that this set is ruined, this class is completely going to be the new meta. That all this is still subject to change. Again, we are still about 3 weeks out from the actual launch of Summerset Isles, and a lot can change in 7 weeks. Just look at Horns of the Reach. That was a 4-week long PTS cycle, and even after the last PTS cycle, they completely upended everything with the live patch. They just completely threw us a curveball. So, it could be the exact same thing in Summerset Isles again. We don't know. And so anybody who says or claims that they know what's going to happen, or they know what you should be doing to prepare for Summerset Isles, I think is being a little bit facetious and kind of doing themselves a disservice to the rest of the community. I personally know I'm not going to, just like with Dragon Modes, I'm not going to release any build videos. I'm not going to do any theory crafting until Summerset Isles is completely released on the live server. That is the only time I'm going to be releasing these sorts of videos. Building builds and theory crafting, because once it's released on a live server, that's when I know these changes are pretty much going to be stick. There are going to be some few changes here and there, some minor tweaks, but for the most part, those balance changes are there to stay once it hits live server. So moral of the story, don't read too much into anything that people are saying about Summerset right now for changing metas, things like that, sets, because again, this is all subject to change within the next couple of weeks. That's it for this video. Hope you guys found it informative, and I'll see you guys in the next dungeon.